Hi, VencoreWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Wednesday, November 8th. Well, the big story right now is the Arctic blast that is headed our way into the northeast part of the country for Friday and Saturday. There will be a strong Arctic frontal passage tomorrow night. The winds will pick up noticeably. Temperatures will drop by Friday morning and in some areas hold in the 30s for highs during Friday afternoon. New York City, for example, should not escape the 30s on Friday, way below normal temperatures throughout the Mid-Atlantic region and Northeast U.S. for Friday and Saturday. In fact, temperatures early Saturday morning could very well drop into the upper teens in the suburbs of New York City, near 20 degrees for lows by early Saturday morning in and around Philadelphia, and certainly way down in the 20s, even as far as the D.C. metro region, the lowest temperatures of the year so far. It'll certainly ease up some on Sunday and Monday from that intense cold. And by the way, wind chill will be a factor certainly on Friday and into Friday night in the Mid-Atlantic region. But even though the harsh cold will ease up on Sunday and Monday, it'll still remain colder than normal for this time of the year. Well, this late week blast may not be the last blast of the month. Let's look ahead a little bit first before we get to the short-term situation. We often talk about high latitude blocking here at VencoreWeather.com. In fact, there was a major part of the winter outlook, and there are some reasons to believe that we'll have some frequent high latitude blocking events. And basically when that happens, when there's abnormally high pressure over places like Greenland or Iceland, usually that results in cold air outbreaks for the central and eastern U.S. One of the ways to track the possibility of a high latitude blocking situation is through an index called the Arctic Oscillation. Meteorologists use this, especially during the winter time, to again give some ideas to the pressure pattern way up north and the prospects for high latitude blocking. Look and see what happens here. The forecasted values for the Arctic Oscillation Index are shown in red, and they tank towards the latter part of November from positive territory where they are right now into negative territory. Typically, a negative Arctic Oscillation Index is correlated with a high latitude blocking event, and again, high latitude blocking events are often correlated with cold air outbreaks into the central and eastern U.S. So this by itself is indicating the possibility for high latitude blocking. Around Thanksgiving week, for example, we could have another cold air outbreak into the northeast U.S. Well, just to continue on that theme of the potential for high latitude blocking, we're looking ahead again. This is the latter part of November. Just wanted to show last night's 06Z GFS model run, the 500 millibar height anomalies for later this month. This happens to be a forecast map for November 20th, the beginning of Thanksgiving week. Thanksgiving is relatively early this year, I believe on November 23rd. This is a high pressure anomaly, and what we're looking at is a top-down view of the North Pole. This right here is Greenland. And watch what happens here. Very strong high pressure over a place like Greenland, way up north, and if we progress through in 6-hour increments, this just intensifies here. Notice this very strong-looking high pressure, abnormally high pressure for this particular time of the year. Again, we're looking ahead. This is now November 21st, and this is going along with that idea of the forecast for the AO, the Arctic Oscillation Index, to drop sharply into negative territory again later on in the month, suggesting high latitude blocking. So basically the bottom line here, I just wanted to show that there are certainly possibilities for additional Arctic air outbreaks, especially during the latter part of November for the central and eastern U.S. Well, let's now get back to the near term. Again, an Arctic frontal system will arrive here in the I-95 corridor tomorrow night. This is the forecast map from the 06Z GFS model run for this morning, Wednesday morning. Low pressure pushing off the coast. Ended up changing over to snow in places like Altoona, State College, the Poconos received some snow as colder air filtered in from the north. Again, this is just an initial cold blast. A real Arctic blast arrives tomorrow night. Let's move ahead in 6-hour increments here and we'll see the cold air starting to push. This blue area represents snow associated with that Arctic front, and it could be a very interesting passage of that Arctic front upstream from us here. Places near the Great Lakes, for example, could have snow squall activity later in the day on Thursday. This is the forecast map for tomorrow morning. Let's continue to move ahead in 6-hour increments. There it is, that Arctic front. Notice a tight isobar pattern here. Very cold, strong, high pressure by tomorrow evening, Thursday evening, over northern Minnesota. Northerly winds screaming over the Great Lakes region. Frontal system approaching the I-95 corridor. And here we go. By about this time, by the middle of tomorrow night, around midnight or so, the winds will noticeably pick up in intensity. Out of the north to northwest by Friday morning, cold air pours in. Here we are, early Friday afternoon. Winds will definitely be a factor on Friday. Again, high temperatures could hold in the 30s in many parts of the I-95 corridor, especially suburban areas from Philadelphia up to New York City, and there will be a wind chill factor as well, as winds continue to be quite strong. However, as we move into Friday night, notice that high pressure area moves into the northeastern part of the country. Winds will die down by Saturday morning. Here we are, this Arctic high pressure system sitting right over the northeast U.S. Calm winds, Arctic high pressure sitting on top of us. Very, very low temperatures expected for early Saturday morning. Again, near 20 degrees in and around Philadelphia, perhaps the upper teens up around the suburbs of New York City, and way down in the low to mid-20s at best in the D.C. metro region. Certainly hard freeze is coming, the lowest temperatures of the year for Saturday morning. This chill remains intact throughout the day on Saturday, but again, by Sunday, that high pressure starts to move off. There'll be certainly less harsh on Sunday, but still cold, still below normal for this time of the year. And then there'll be some moisture headed our way, and there could be some rain by the latter part of Sunday or Sunday night, perhaps even cold enough in some parts of the mid-Atlantic region for a touch of sleet or snow at the onset late Sunday, Sunday night. And then low pressure will try to form along the coast on Monday, continue the threat for some showers, rain showers, during the day on Monday. But the big story right now is an Arctic frontal system arrives tomorrow night, and we'll hear the winds pick up in intensity right here in the I-95 corridor. By Friday morning will be way below normal for this time of the year. Wind chills definitely a factor on Friday. Windy and cold despite probably a full day of sunshine. And then again by Saturday morning, very cold, perhaps near 20 degrees in many parts of the I-95 corridor, give or take a few degrees on either side of 20. That's it for now. For VencoreWeather.com, I'm meteorologist